everyone, and welcome to Global Wrestling Federation action here on Supercard. I'm Craig Johnson. Scott Hudson, Bonnie Blackstone, and Joe Pedicino will be joining us with some special features throughout the afternoon. And as we take a look at some of the action, the Renegade Warriors will be in tag team action. Mark and Chris Youngblood, an excellent tag team, making their mark in GWF action. We will see the Handsome Stranger go against one of the Dirty Davis brothers, this time Tom, the Handsome Stranger, loved by the ladies around the Global Dome. We will also see in action the team of Chaz and Terry Garvin. They're going against the PYTs in this particular edition of GWF Wrestling. Chaz and Terry Garvin, a very enthusiastic team, if you will. And in our main event, it's the Patriot going against Rugged Rod Price, the California Stud. Some great action right here today on ESPN. It all gets underway after this.
460 pounds, the Renegade Warriors! The Renegade Warriors on this very special edition of Major League Wrestling. And Scott Hudson has gone to check on some things in the background. And wait a minute now, I was sort of planning on doing this one all by myself, but Scott Anthony is here, and excuse me, can I help you?
I've come up here to take your place, take Scott Hudson's place, take anybody's place, because frankly, the people need me. They need the Palm Beach Heartthrobs insightful commentary to liven up the show.
Well, right now, Ed Robinson and El Diablo are in the ring against the Renegade Warriors. This should be great, great action starting off Major League Wrestling today from the Global Wrestling Federation. One of the most exciting tag teams in wrestling today, the Renegade Warriors. And this ought to be quite an interesting match, as Ed Robinson is a young man who has worked his way up through the ranks in the GWF. And El Diablo, of course, we've seen him in several of the tournaments.
So is that Ed Robinson in the mask?
No, that's El Diablo in the mask.
Never mind then. Look at that. A clean break by the Youngbloods. Which Youngbloods this? They're kind of snappy dressers sometimes. You ever notice sometimes they've got them sporty neon tights? I'll give them credit for that, but that's all I'll give them credit for at this moment.
All right. They tie up now in the middle of the ring, and the Renegade Warrior with a headlock on El Diablo. As you can see, using the bone there coming down the side of his arm.
Notice he's got a handful of hair. Right through the mask.
I was just going to say, I would point out to you that it's hard to grab hair when a man's wearing a mask.
So you say.
Yeah.
One tackle. Ooh, it ducks the clothesline.
That ducks again. The Renegade Warriors getting up steam, and there he is. A two count on El Diablo, the Renegade Warrior, and now he just drop kicks El Diablo right into Ed Robinson, comes back, and there's a beautiful arm drag.
Okay, so the Youngbloods are kind of impressive at this point.
Kind of?
Kind of. I don't want to use too strong an adjective here.
It's like saying that Paul Bunyan is kind of tall.
Exactly. How is the weather up there?
All right, El Diablo trying to make a tag. Instead, the Renegade Warriors make the tag, and there's that big double chop off the arm, and the Warrior goes over and tags Ed Robinson.
Yeah, see, Ed Robinson wasn't even a legal man.
Oh, beautiful.
See how those Renegade Warriors, see how they cheat? They always break the rules. I hate people like that. It's a travesty.
What do you like? What's it like when you look in a mirror? Listen,
it's gorgeous. I love looking at myself.
All right, there's the Renegade Warriors. Oh.
A double boot upside the jawbone.
Diablo is down 1-2. Let's give Diablo credit. He's able to kick out. There's a big double chop.
Good for El Diablo.
Yeah, right. Goes for the eyes. Wouldn't you know it? No matter how big and tough a man is, when you go for those eyes, you're going to do some damage. And now Robinson comes in, and he's taking over where El Diablo left off.
Ed Robinson is like a man repossessed. That's what he is.
I think you mean a man possessed.
Nah, I don't think the demon's in him. He's not like the heretic or nothing. A big right hand to the jaw of the chief. Is he an actual chief? Or is he just like a squaw?
No, I can promise you he's not a squaw. That I know.
I bet he's squaw when El Diablo gets a big right hand upside his nose.
Well, right now, El Diablo has the upper hand. There's the tag. Ed Robinson comes in. Robinson now going up the ropes, climbing up the ladder, comes down off that second rope with a big axe handle right down into the chest of the Renegade Warrior. Comes off, and there's an elbow. And the Renegade Warrior's having a tough time with the team of Ed Robinson and El Diablo.
You know, for a pair of relative unknowns, these two guys are doing quite a good showing for themselves.
I agree. El Diablo and Ed Robinson, I think, are doing well.
He's doing quite good. In fact, I think if they could take this match, it'd be quite an upset for him. And then I think they should form a permanent tag team if they can upset the Renegade Warriors.
Well, that's a good point.
But they'd have to get matching outfits because I really don't like it. The black and red with the yellow doesn't match with the yellow and black kind of tiger stripe thing he's got going on Ed Robinson. Hey, look at that. Look at that, an illegal Renegade Warrior.
I'm still stunned over you talking about his colors. This coming from a man who looks like he walked through a Sherwin-Williams store after a hurricane.
Good, that's good. Sherwin-Williams, I like that, Joe. Good joke. But my point being, they don't match. The two of them clash. Their outfits clash. And there's nothing I hate more than a clash. You like that? You like that, didn't you, Joe?
All right, here comes Robinson. He's coming over, and they're double teaming on the Renegade Warriors, but it seems to be paying off.
Well, the Warriors still fighting back, though, Joe. He's fighting back.
Well, I think that what they've done is ticked him off, as we say, down south. And Robinson now into the ropes, comes off the Renegade with a big chop.
That was like a double tomahawk, Daddy-O.
All right, Robinson now being taken, thrown into the ropes. Comes off. Boom. Big boot from the Renegade Warrior.
I think the Renegade Warriors have had just about enough of El Diablo and Ed Robinson.
Well, as we said, these two men, Diablo and Robinson, were making a good showing for themselves. But if the Renegade Warriors get their dander up, this match could be over in a hurry.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with this partisan refereeing. By who's that referee? What's his name? Who cares? Anyway, I think he's a biased official, frankly. And look at this, more double teaming nonsense.
All right. Oh, there. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't call that nonsense. That was a beautiful double Indian chop on Ed Robinson by the Renegade Warriors. And now where are they going? Now what's happening? There's a big slam.
I heard that up here.
And he brings him over, just sends him into the rope. 1, 2, 3. And the Renegade Warriors, as we said, put a quick end.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winners of the match, the Renegade Warriors.
All right, coming up next, one of your favorites, the Handsome Stranger, will be here.
Jerk.
And hopefully by then Scott Hudson will be back and we can get back to normal. But in the meantime, right now, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we'll be talking with Cactus Jack and you, Scott Anthony.
Lucky you.
Well, the two members of the cartel that are entered in the North American Heavyweight Tournament are with me. They've demanded time, and all I'd like to know is what's the big deal? You two guys are in the tournament. Surely the boss has got to be pretty happy about the fact he's got two members in the North American Tournament.
The boss is not happy. The boss is upset.
By the way, who is the boss?
Let me tell you something. The boss is upset, Joe Pedicino. He comes out here. The GWF has stacked all the cards against us. Every time we get bamboozled, we get hoodwinked everywhere we go. We had a guy in the light heavyweight tournament. They bamboozled us out of that. We had two guys in the heavyweight tournament got robbed of that. We had two tag teams in the tournament, go to the finals, we get robbed, they pulled Rip Rogers' tights, everybody saw it was obvious, we were ripped off, point blank. Cactus, tell him how mad the boss is.
It's real simple. It's real simple. The boss is upset. And when the boss gets upset, Cactus Jack gets upset, and I don't think anyone out there in TV land is prepared for that to happen. So it better not happen again, Joe Pedicino. It better not happen again.
The Dirty Davis Brothers.
That's a hot ring song. Them Davis Brothers got them a hot ring tune.
Well,
I like that. It's rocking.
Yeah, but now, you want to see something hot? Take a look at his opponent.
His opponent's a jerk. I hate that guy. He's an idiot. Look, he's not even coming out. He's scared. He's a wussy.
Ah, here's his music. He'll be on his way out now. Let's go to our ring announcer.
Oh, so a few girls are standing up.
Now, you want to talk about coordination, take a look at that tuxedo, will you? Black and silver, a black and silver mask. He's got the bow tie. The man is right out of the magazine.
Yeah, the Field and Stream, maybe. He's not out of GQ magazine like yours truly, the Palm Beach Parts Rob. He's got bad entrance music. Only a few of the ugly girls in the crowd stood up. You notice when I come out, all the really sexy...
Look at that lady with that rose. She's so happy. And take a look at this. He's walking around. He's saying hi to all of his fans.
Yeah, they're happy.
Handing out the roses.
He's happy because he just walked by and left her alone.
Oh,
Didn't
look
try
at
and
this.
kiss her.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at the look on that lady's face.
Oh, look at that little kid trying to suck up to him, trying to make a friend. He don't want to be your friend, kid. He don't like you.
Let me ask you a question. What is it with you and the Handsome Stranger? This guy is obviously one of the top wrestlers around, but I think there's a little jealousy thing there if you ask me.
I've said it before and I'll say it again.
As that tuxedo comes off.
Yeah, but he has no abs, though. Look, you don't see any abs there. He doesn't have that washboard effect like moi. Now, see, Tom Davis has one heck of a body. Look at that. See them thick pectoralis major, and see them big old triceps and the traps and the whole thing. He got it all, man.
Yeah, just keep going.
He's going to squash him. He's going to squash him like a bug.
Well, we'll find out. There's the bell, and our match has started. We heard some interesting comments from you and your partner, Cactus Jack. I still say that, you know, someday you guys are going to have to break down and tell us who this man, the boss, is.
Who's the boss?
Yeah.
Tony Danza.
All right. Will you take a look? Tony Danza is the boss, huh?
Look at that snap mare by Tom Davis. Dirty Tom Davis.
Yeah, well. All right, right now in the audience, Bonnie Blackstone is standing by. I understand she's with some fans, and they have some comments about what's going on in the ring. Right, Bonnie?
I'm here in the audience with Becky, and we're talking about this 10 in the ring known as the Handsome Stranger. What do you think?
Oh, it's most gorgeous. Knocks socks off anybody.
All right. What do you think, guys?
The Handsome Stranger has fans all over the world. There's no doubt about that.
That Bonnie Blackstone chick, she wants me. It's obvious. She wants me.
Yeah, right. They all do, don't they?
Exactly. It's about time you realize that, Pedicino.
Yeah, I was talking to Christopher Love just the other... Well, let's get back to the match. We've got a lot of things going on in the ring.
Hey, look at that. Dirty Tom Davis got him in a full Nelson.
Yeah, and Mike Davis outside the ring.
What happened?
He switched it. That's what happened. All right, now the referee's going to make him release this. There's no doubt.
Oh, come on.
He did just what the referee said. The referee said the man's in the ropes. You got to let go, and he did.
Man, I hate that referee. He's from parts unknown.
No,
a double thingy on the back of the neck there, and a boot to the shoulder. And a shot to the midsection. Oh, that's Tom Davis. He got it going on, man. He's just taking it to the stranger. You do know why the stranger wears that mask, don't you?
No. I know I'm going to regret this. I know I am. Well, why does the stranger wear the mask?
He's a former sanitation engineer, and he has a big scar in his eye from a garbage accident.
Right.
He does. It's a true story.
The man is one of the best-looking men in professional wrestling. He wears the mask because, as he says, mystery is one of the better parts of romance. Of course, you don't have any idea what romance is.
Hey, look, I read that somewhere. I wrote it down, and then I read it. Side salto suplex. I like that. I know all the terminology.
Yeah.
I got all that terminology down pat.
All right, Dirty Davis in the ring right now.
You think we can bring us a couple of vinos up here at the booth?
Yeah, well, I don't know about that, but I'll tell you what. Scott Hudson is coming back any minute now because you and I have had just about enough, I think, of the bandering around. We haven't even talked about what's going on in the ring. The Dirty Davis brothers out at ringside there. We've got Tom Davis in the ring, and the stranger switches it around, throws him in a beautiful backdrop. Now, that's the kind of action that people are used to seeing here in Global. There's a clothesline.
Listen to them people respond. They seem to really like this guy, huh?
They love the Handsome Stranger.
Well, it shows how dumb they are.
You know, someday I'm going to get into it with you about what the problem is between you and the Handsome Stranger. There's more to it than you're telling.
Look at that. A drop kick by the stranger. Into the ropes goes Dirty Tom Davis. Went to the well one too many times, Joe Pedicino.
All right. This time, the Handsome Stranger went for that drop kick again, but Davis held on to the rope, being the ring veteran that he has turned out to be.
Yeah, he's
and the stranger now is going to be in some trouble, as you can see. And now what you can't see on your camera, what we're seeing is that Mike Davis was slapping him right there. You couldn't see it. We can see it here in the Global Dome.
He slapped him like a dog.
All right, there goes Davis down.
Oh!
Mike Davis thought he was tripping the Handsome Stranger, and instead he tripped his own brother. 1, 2, 3, and that's it.
Oh!
Mike Davis wasn't paying attention, and it came back to bite him.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, the Handsome Stranger.
All right, the Handsome Stranger, and I see Scott Hudson on his way back, so it's been nice seeing you, Scott, but see ya. We'll be back with more right after this.
Bad news!
Well, he's been called bad news all around the world. The man from Harlem, Texas.
He's a bad man. He is one seriously bad, mean, vicious individual. Look at that. There he goes.
Of course, I meant Harlem, New York. Just seeing if you were awake, Scotty. Obviously, you're not. Why don't we turn the microphone back over to Scott Hudson? Scott is back from that special phone call that he was making there. We were able to get any news on the boss? Now, they don't know what we were up to. Were you able to find out anything about who the boss is?
No news at all, Joe. Everything is still a total blank as to who the boss is.
Yeah, that's the way it should be. And if you're going to keep trying to pry into my business, I'm leaving.
Well, as we said in the open of the show, Scott was going to go make a very special phone call. Scott, we thought we had somebody that was going to give us some news on who this man, the boss, is, but unfortunately it turned out to be a false lead, right?
Well, we're going to have to deep six, deep throat. I got no clue as to who the boss is.
Well, I'm just glad you're back because Scott, I told everybody I was going to be out here with Scott. I just didn't know it was going to be Scott Anthony.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man. Take a look at what's going on in the ring. It's almost a carnage in there as Rick Guerin is taking on Bad News, and Bad News just absolutely tearing Rick Guerin apart. And as we said, Bad News has been Bad News all around the world. He's in Japan. He's one of the top champions, of course, in Canada, across Europe, and now he's here in the Global Wrestling Federation. And there's one of the reasons why they call him Bad News right there. Guerin couldn't get him over. A fist to the face, and now the laces of the boots to the eyes of Rick Guerin.
Bad News, very popular in the EMLL area in Mexico. He is also, in speaking with Bad News, what little I could get out of him before he started screaming at me, once wrestled in front of 100,000 fans with Antonio Inoki in Pakistan.
Yep, that's absolutely right. One of the largest crowds in wrestling history.
Absolutely.
Well, right now, I bet that Rick Guerin is sort of wishing he were in Pakistan, because Bad News has just completely taken over on young Mr. Guerin, who is trying to work his way up through the ranks of the Global Wrestling Federation. And let's give him credit. It takes a lot of guts just to get in the ring with a man like Bad News, and to sit there and try moves like this when you know you're in there with a man who has absolutely no qualms about doing anything it takes to win a match. You got to give some credit to young Rick Guerin.
Well, Rick Guerin trying to get to the mountaintop a little bit early, signed up for the match against Bad News, thinking maybe he could score the upset, which would propel him up the ranks of the top 10 wrestlers here in the Global Wrestling Federation. But I don't see things going quick Rick's way in this match at all.
Well, as we said also in the open of today's program, our friend Craig Johnson not here this week. Craig is the best man in a wedding today, and taking a little bit of time off to go and do that, and to take part in his best friend's wedding. We want to wish him well. And it's just great for me to be here on Major League Wrestling. You know, we've been doing the Newsroom Center, and of course we've got that coming up from one right after this match. We've got a newsroom that we pre-taped just a little bit earlier. We'll be going to that. But right now we're seeing Bad News refuse to pin this man, and I don't know why. He's got him ready. I don't think there's any doubt. He just wants to dish out more punishment, I think.
Well, Bad News will take advantage of a situation. He is used to being in the ring with the likes of Antonio Inoki, with the likes of Roddy Piper. Now he's in there with quick Rick Guerin, certainly not in the league of a Roddy Piper or an Antonio Inoki, and Bad News taking advantage.
Well, there you have it. He just pushed him right into the ropes, and there's the ghetto blaster. Boy. Right to the back of the head. You can kiss that one goodnight. 1, 2, 3. And Bad News looks right into our camera and says, I'm #1. But the winner of this match is Bad News.
I'm talking to Randy, and I'm talking to Brandon about another awesome twosome, the Renegade Warriors. Brandon, what do you think about the Renegade Warriors?
I like their outfit and their tag team wrestling and the pretty colors they wear.
Yeah, pretty colors they wear. Now tell me about the little noises that they make that you do so good, Randy. You heard it right here, folks, in the Global Dome. This is Randy and Brandon, just two of the great fans that love the Renegade Warriors here in the GWF.
Terry Daniels entering the ring to some great music, and of course, as always, Private Terry Daniels has that American flag with him. This ought to be a great match as he is going to take on one of the wild men of professional wrestling. If you've got any brains at all, you're going to get out of the ring when Wild Bill is cracking that whip, because you never know where or what it's going to do.
I jump a little bit. I have a little shudder whenever he cracks that whip, and we're a good 20, 30 feet away from the ring, Joe. That's a lethal, lethal weapon. in the hand of Bill Irwin.
Well, luckily, he is getting rid of it, has to put it outside the ring. This ought to be quite a match. Terry Daniels taking on Wild Bill Irwin. And let me tell you something, folks, they don't call him Wild Bill for nothing. This man is a wild man in the ring, with or without the bullwhip, but Terry Daniels isn't going to take any guff off of him.
Terry Daniels, a very tough competitor. May suffer a little bit from the what they call the little man syndrome, where the maybe a little bit smaller man in the fight can arguably be just as tough, if not tougher, than the bigger man, because it's number 2, we try harder theory coming into play.
I'm going to screw this up, but I'm going to try it anyway. What is it that Gordon always said? It's not the size of the man in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the man.
Very good.
Did I get it right?
Sounded just like it.
All right.
Gordon who?
You know. Everybody out there knows one of the greatest wrestling commentators of all time. Of course, we're talking about Gordon Soley.
Oh, yeah.
Terry Daniels and Wild Bill Irwin tie up in the ring, and there's a quick now forearm driving Daniels back. And that wasn't a forearm, that was a fist. Takes Daniels, but Daniels turns it around, throws Bill in, goes in, climbs up. Oh! Went for a bunky flip, but it just didn't work. The size of Bill Irwin, and he held on to that corner turnbuckle, and Wild Bill Irwin sent him flying, and now Irwin has taken over on Terry Daniels, and this will be interesting to see now if Daniels can come back. We talked about the size of the fight in the man. This is where it's got to come out. Terry Daniels has got to prove to Bill Irwin that he can come back from a beating like this. This may be the opportunity. He goes, he's got him down. 1, 2. Not quite a 3 count, but Terry Daniels has proven he can come back.
Those big roundhouse right hands from Terry Daniels have staggered Bill Irwin. Now Irwin up and over. And Irwin probably underestimated Terry Daniels going in, figuring a much smaller man with maybe not quite as much experience, he could walk over him. He certainly is not.
You know, wasn't that an interesting comment the fan had with Bonnie just a few minutes ago? One of the things I like the most about the GWF, we got a 3 count, that boot right to the face, and Bill Irwin got a 3 count. Let's take a look at that again. As you can see, he throws him into the rope, and as he comes off, he just plants that big boot right up in the face of Terry Daniels, and that's enough to do it. Now, wait a minute. Back to live action. Irwin is wanting to grab a hold of the whip and go back after Terry Daniels. The referee stopped him, but there you see it, the winner of the match.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, Wild Bill Irwin.
We got a special interview coming up, and then we'll be back with more, including Christopher Love, right after this.
Fan Scott Hudson back with Christopher Love and the Pretty Young Things.
Yes, honey, you are. Christopher Love and the PYTs, honey. Let the fans at home get out of the way, punk. Have you ever seen a prettier body, a prettier face than Eric Fontaine, honey? Hot body, get up here. There ain't a finer-looking man in America, honey. And Christopher Love has him all the way to the championships. You know, honey, we personally bowed out of the tag team tournament because there was no competition, honey. So Christopher Love made it a little bit exciting. But, honey, have I got news for you. This Global Wrestling Federation belongs to me.
Fans, that's Christopher Love and the PYTs.
So ugly. You're not a pretty man.
Oh, we'll hear more from them later,
Where's
I'm
that
sure.
tramp Blackstone?
One of the most popular young tag teams in Global Wrestling Federation. Terry Garvin and Chaz. What a challenge they are going to have on today's program.
Their opponent, at a combined weight, 480 pounds, accompanied by manager Christopher Love, Eric Fontaine, and Randy Rose.
Well, I would definitely say Christopher Love is not one of the most loved men in the GWF, and these two men certainly are not. They call themselves the PYTs, the Pretty Young Things, and I guess 1 out of 3 isn't bad. They're not pretty, they're not young, but they are things, guys.
That's 100% correct. There's a good look at Christopher Love really endearing himself to the fans there in the Global Dome. He's good with tongue and cheek.
Better be careful. Those fans out there, last week we had a lady with a cane that I thought was going to do Christopher Love in.
That may not have been such a bad thing, but then again, we never condone that type of activity.
Well, now if we can get these men into the ring, Terry Garvin and Chaz are standing by. They are waiting. Terry Garvin telling Christopher Love that he better keep his mind out of the ring. Actually, we can't say what he was telling him to keep out of the ring, but you get the idea.
That's very true. To insinuate that Christopher Love has a mind is probably a real reach. There's a good look at Terry Garvin and Chaz, the Purple Rain, we could call those young fellows.
All right, Chaz wearing some interesting clothes into the ring for this match. Well, is he or isn't he? Well, he's not, because the PYTs attack from behind, and now we've got a melee starting right off the bat in the ring. All 4 men are in the ring, and the PYTs take Chaz and Terry Garvin. Oh, look at that move! That's what you call teamwork.
It's obvious that Terry Garvin and Chaz have put in a lot of time in the gymnasium working out these tag team maneuvers, and here's another one as Fontaine is dropped and standing alone in the ring, and finally getting his workout pants off is Chaz, but Garvin and Chaz stand alone as
the pretty young things are having some problems right off the bat here. Christopher Love is not a happy man.
They're trying to regroup out there, and I don't know that that group is worth regrouping.
Mr. Erotica, Eric Fontaine, back in the ring now.
It must be an honorary title. Not earned.
All right, he picks up Garvin, slams Garvin down, turns to the crowd and says, now, are you happy? Is that what you want to see? Well, no, that's what they wanted to see, Eric. As Terry Garvin drop kicks Eric Fontaine from behind and kicks him right over the ropes. And there you're seeing a very, very determined young man. Here we go. He's got him up. Oh, an atomic drop. And now a clothesline. Things are not going right for Eric Fontaine. Mr. Erotica is not doing very well right now. Oh, Terry Garvin went into the ropes. Was going to come off with it looked like another clothesline, but Randy Rhodes grabbed him from behind and yanked him down by the hair, and now the two of them are taking over on Terry Garvin. Garvin needs to get over and tag his partner, Scott.
Rhodes and Fontaine could certainly take a page out of the book of Garvin and Chaz, as Rhodes and Fontaine are really letting themselves get to be annoyed at the antics and taunts of the crowd. And now they're in control as Terry Garvin being double-teamed here. But you'll see later on, I'm sure that these two will lose concentration and pay more attention to the fans.
Did you see the height they got on that double backdrop? Terry Garvin must have been at least 8 to 10 feet up in the air when that happened. And now Fontaine taunting Chaz. And then while the referee goes over to get Chaz out, Fontaine goes and just wraps Garvin's head around the ropes. Now what Christopher Love up to? Christopher Love is right there at the ringside. They'd better be careful. Double teaming coming up on Terry Garvin. This team is well known for that. And while the referee is trying to keep Chaz out of the ring, double teaming going on Terry Garvin. Garvin blocks a suplex. Fontaine tries again. Garvin blocks it again. And Garvin brings him over. Garvin brings over Eric Fontaine in his form of almost a snap Japanese suplex. He blocked the suplex from Fontaine. What has Chris Love got in his hand?
I dread to think about that. Christopher Love looks like he's readying himself to interfere in this match, and I certainly hope not, as Chaz has got things going his way.
Well, the team of Chaz and Garvin have really pretty much been in charge of this match. And right now, a meeting of the minds, if you will, for Randy Rhodes and for Eric Fontaine. And Garvin and Chaz have things going their way right now. All 4 men are in the ring. Chaz working on Rhodes. And Garvin working on Fontaine. The referee trying to contain all of the action that's going on. There you see Garvin just pounding. Absolutely pounding Fontaine. In the meantime, Rhodes now throws Chaz in. Oh! Now, whatever that was, It was his boot. I can see it now. It was his boot. He hit him in the back with a boot.
Once again.
That's a handicap match if I've ever seen one. Garvin and Chaz losing to 3 men.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winners of the match, the tag team of Fontaine Road.
All right, the PYTs and Christopher Love come out ahead on that one. They said they were going to. We'll be back with more.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Global Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions, Conan Chris Walker and Steve Simpson. A long road to home, but you all did it.
Oh, I'll tell you something. It's been a long time where I can be proud of winning a belt and represent the Rolls Royce of wrestling. Go for it, Chrissy.
Yeah. This has done nothing but change our lives. My tag team partner and I are the new Global Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions. We promise you one thing. We'll do our best to uphold these belts for all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
What can I say but presenting once again the new Global Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions, Steve Simpson and Conan Chris Walker. Congratulations. 2 happy men, Scott Hudson.
Absolutely, Craig. Steve Simpson and Chris Walker really had a tough road to hoe through the tournament. They defeated several top teams. They defeated a great team in the finals, but there is no question as to who is the #1 team in the GWF, and we just saw them right here on the stage.
Let's go back and take a look at it again. It was Conan Chris Walker who was sent outside of the ring. He climbed up to the top rope, came off with a crossbody block, gets the count of 3 on Rip Rogers, and we have new Global Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions, Steve Simpson and Conan Chris Walker. What a great tournament it was, but now we have to start thinking about the North American Heavyweight Championship Tournament.
Jim Cornette, we've seen the problems you had with Steve Cox.
Boris Karloff's illegitimate son, huh?
Oh, please. We've seen the
I
problems.
thought you were out haunting houses somewhere.
Well, I have a second job. We've seen the problems you've had with Steve Cox. This man has had with Steve Cox.
Let me tell you something. Coming up in the global tournament for the North American title, just so happens that Steve Cox has won his first-round match. Is going to be going up against Sweet Stan Lane. Well, let me tell you something, Steve Cox. You stinking punk. What you've got is a dream. And you know what a dream is? A dream is something that you have going through your head late at night when you're laying in bed, but when you wake up, you face cold reality, and that's the fact that this man right here has broken more hearts than a savings and loan. And he's going to break your heart because your dream is going to wind up being a nightmare, brother.
Sweet Stan Lane.
I tried to take the young kid under my wing, show him what it's like to be a professional, show him what it's like to be the greatest tag team wrestler in the world. But no, you wouldn't listen, would you? So now you're going to pay the supreme price, Steve Cox. You're going to step in that squared circle and face me eyeball to eyeball, and it's not going to be pretty. Scott Hudson, if you're a betting man and it looks like you've lost a few, bet on this man. He's going to be the champion.
Steve Simpson talking to James Beard, saying this one's just one between the 2 of us. Very cautious is Steve Simpson before the lockup. Tatum whips Simpson over and thinks highly of himself in the effort. Until he's set down very low by the clothesline of Steve Simpson. and Simpson obviously have problems with each other's attitudes. Simpson usually a pretty good attitude. Tatum, now trying to show that he can have a good attitude, wants to shake the hand of the man from South Africa. Simpson says, I don't need any of this. You brought it on originally. Let's get to it. Looks of determination in the eyes of both men. Top wrist lock by John Tatum sends Simpson down to his knees. You can see Simpson trying to power out of it. Successful so far. Can he gain the leverage to take Tatum down? Very close. And it looks like it could have been a handful of the locks of Steve Simpson. Tatum now with pressure on the armbar. Now twisting into the arm of Steve Simpson. Flips him over. Has the leverage. Simpson down on the mat. Tatum in control here. Simpson looking like he's getting the second win here. Tatum trying to wrench the arm a little more. Simpson comes with a right. A second right and a handful of hair. Sends Simpson down. James Beard slightly out of position, but a lot of credit has to go to John Tatum for making sure the referee couldn't see it. Tatum a master at doing that. Tatum with the advantage here. As Simpson trying to figure out a plan of attack. Back to his base. Tatum pushing down on the shoulder while twisting on the wrist. Pressure on the elbow. Simpson now trying to lock up Tatum from behind. And urging the man from South Africa on now. Reversal by Simpson as he pulls it over. No hair involved there, just clean leverage. Apparently John Tatum trying to convince James Beard otherwise. Tatum using the hair that time. And a right lands on the mark. Second right lands on the mark. And Simpson goes down to the canvas. Back up quickly. Answers with a kick. A chop to the chest. These two men have been battling it out. Tatum clothesline with the left arm. Tatum, who claims to be a 52nd degree black belt. I didn't know they went that high, but maybe he won his black belt when it was 52 degrees outside. Trying to teach Steve Simpson a lesson. Simpson answers back with an elbow, not quite enough to break the momentum of Tatum. Tatum misses with a clothesline, and Simpson misses with a crossbody block. Landed right on his stomach and also came down on his wrist as he tried to break his fall. Elbow to the top of the head. Simpson answers with a right. John Tatum and Steve Simpson. Oh! And a heck of a match here. Simpson has been punished by Tatum for the majority of the match. But Tatum just can't seem to put the man from South Africa away. From one turnbuckle to the other, John Tatum escorting his opponent around. Simpson tries to come back. And I think the dander is up. Tatum may be firing in the rights, but I think it's doing nothing more than waking up Steve Simpson. Toe-to-toe they go. Simpson with a series of rights, and Tatum tries to throw him over the top rope to get rid of him. But in the Global Wrestling Federation, that is not a disqualification. Simpson is upset as he gets up from that. Mad as he tried to come into the ring by the boot of John Tatum. Simpson to one knee. Now back to his feet. Shaking his head. Shoulder block into the midsection. Skies over top. Tries to get the sunset flip. Tatum goes down. Holds onto the rope. And gets the count of three. James Beard trying to say, no, I saw the hands on the rope. And gets the count of three there.
Steve Simpson. The California Stud. He is the California Stud, Rod Price. And look at that body on this man. But he will face one of his toughest challenges ever in the GWF right here today. In the man that is about to come down the aisle. And his opponent entering the ring area from Lubbock, Texas, at 275 pounds, the All-American, the Patriot! There you see the man in red, white, and blue as he goes around the ring saying hi to all of the little Patriots here in the Global Dome.
Inarguably, he is the most popular man in the GWF, Joe, as the eruption from the crowd when his music starts playing even gets louder when he finally peeks his head through that vomitory and appears to the crowd here in the Global Dome.
Well, there will be people who will say, I shouldn't say this, but this match will be a main event anywhere in the country.
Oh, I can read that now.
Well, I don't mind telling you, these two men, it is going to be a great match, and it would be a main event anywhere in the United States.
I didn't say it that time.
No, they can say I said it. Rod Price tied up by the Patriot, but a good move by Price to get away. Now the Patriot reverses it again. Where will Price go? Round and round they go. And Price goes to the ropes. So that will force a break by the Patriot.
Good clean break by the Patriot. Nothing wrong with that move by the California Stud, Rod Price. The referee is forced to break the hold when someone gets tied up in the ropes. Price is using the rules to his advantage. Nothing underhanded about that.
Rod Price, one of the best-built wrestlers, of course, in professional wrestling. And as you can tell, the Patriot, though, is right there with him because now he reverses it around. What will Price do to get out of this one? Will Price be able to use his strength to get out of the Patriot? No, but once again, being a ring general, he heads for the ropes, and that will cause a break.
Knowing your place in that ring is the key to winning many matches. And Rod Price knows his way around the ring, but he's in there with the champion. He has got to know that the Patriot has been through the competition in the GWF, and he is the top.
He is the TV champion at this point. He is also, of course, taking part in the North American Heavyweight Championship tournament that is currently taking place. And Rod Price right now is, well, here we go again. Deja vu for Price. 3 times is the charm. And this time Price says, I think I'll take a walk outside the ring if you don't mind.
Rod Price becoming frustrated very quickly here, as he is used to being able to manhandle some of these wrestlers he's in the ring with. But against the Patriot, there will be no manhandling.
No, there's nobody out there that's going to manhandle the Patriot. I can guarantee you that. I'll tell you right now, nobody is going to be able to go in there and just have his way with the wrestler, the Patriot. He is the TV champion, and he is on his way, many people feel like, to being the North American heavyweight champion. But Rod Price is a roadblock in that road, you might say. And Price now coming on strong, big forearms, and now rams the head of the Patriot into that turnbuckle. And he's got the Patriot stunned, and now going after the eyes of the Patriot. You know, that's the one part of the face that mask can't protect.
It can hide the identity. It can protect you from a hair pull. It can, on top of everything else, it can protect you from giving away your emotions. Any pain you may be feeling, any exhilaration you may be feeling, the opponent ask. If you're in some real pain, you can't look at your face and tell. Speaking of real pain, I think Rod Price is in some right now after 3 successive arm drags by the television champion of the GWF. In control now.
You know, the thing that makes this so interesting is that the Patriot not only has the strength and the size, but as he has proven to us in this match, he definitely has the wrestling ability to be in there and to be a champion, because he has shown us that he really can wrestle as well as brawl. He can wrestle, but now if you want to brawl, the man can brawl, as we've seen. He defeated Buddy Landell to win that TV title, and you're not going to do a straight wrestling match against Buddy Landell.
Nope.
You're going to be in there brawling, and as you can see right now, the Patriot is able to handle himself with the likes of Rod Price. There goes Price in, up, and over.
And when you've got the big body like Rod Price.
Now, wait a minute. Look at this. Here comes John Tatum. I don't know why. Tatum and Price have been teaming up in Global, but for some reason, obviously, he did not want this match to come to an end. So Tatum ran into the ring, and now Tatum and Price. Now, here comes that super kick. The Patriot is being held. Tatum is going for the super kick, and Tatum is being held. Oh, Tatum, no! Tatum missed.
It hurt Tatum.
Tatum kicked his own partner. The Patriot ducks out of the way. Tatum kicks Price, and now all chaos is broken loose. But the man standing in the ring is the winner. It's a disqualification, and we got to find out why John Tatum got himself involved in this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, the Patriot!
All right. Even the big surprise was not enough. The Patriot, the winner of the match, these two aren't very happy with each other.